የተወደዳችሁ የአርኪ ካሜራ ተመልካቾች ዛሬ ይዘንላችሁ የቀረብነው እንግዳ አርኪቴክት ዛቪየር ቢላልታ ይባላል። ዛሬ ይዘንላችሁ የቀረብነው እንግዳ በኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ የተወሰኑ ፕሮጀክቶችን በመስራት ላይ ያለ ወጣት አርኪቴክት ነው። በአገሩም ብዙ ፕሮጀክቶችን የሰራና ብዙ ኤክስፒሪየንስ ያለው ወጣት አርኪቴክት ነው። ዛቪየር ቢላልታን ዛሬ እንግዳ አድርገን ይዘንላችሁ ቀርበናል። ልምዱን ያካፍለናል። ከተማችንን በሱ በአርኪቴክት መነጽር በኢትዮጵያዊ ባልሆነ አርኪቴክት መነጽር አዲስ አበባ ስትታይ ምን እንደምትመስል ልምዱን ያካፍለናል። በቀጥታ ወደ ዛቪየር ወስዳችኋል። ኦኬ good morning Xavier.
Good morning. I hope you said nice things in Amharic.
Nice, I said nice things about you. Yeah. So now before starting anything, let me give you short few minutes to introduce yourself about your personal life, professional life. Short introduction to our viewers. Just look into them and just talk with them.
Okay.
Okay.
My name is Xavier Vilalta. I'm an architect from Barcelona, Spain, and I'm here in Addis because I'm working in several projects where I'm involved. And I'm the director of Vilalta Arquitectura in Barcelona, and I'm here in Addis because I'm working in several projects, okay. And I'm happy to be here with Mikhail to share my experience, both as a Spanish architect and someone working in Ethiopia.
Okay, nice, very nice. Now, Xavier, I would like to take you before going to your projects. I would like to take you to tell us how do you see Addis with an eye, with the glasses of an architect and a Spanish architect. How did you find her? Addis, I would like you to tell us your honest professional opinion on how you found Addis.
Well, I think I should say that I've been in Addis already 16 times. Since back in 2009 I came first time, and since that time to now I cannot even recognize the city. It has changed so much, and I don't know how to describe exactly if it's good or not the way it's changing, but I think it's going very fast, very, very fast. And at least maybe because of lack of information, I don't see an overall planning happening in terms of like urbanism, what we call urbanism, that it's not just like building architecture or building infrastructure, that is like an overall idea of how a city performs. Addis, I see it like a city that is a car-based city.
What?
Car-based city,
okay.
That has a center with the main services, including offices, hotels, series of main infrastructure, and then there is all these suburbs with mainly residential areas, and then you need the car basically to move every day from A to B to do whatever. This also, the way I see it is like the planning and the way Addis is becoming a high density center, but even if it is becoming a high density, it doesn't have much public space. It doesn't have like squares with like where people can just go and sit down and do and just like socialize without having to pay to sit down like in a place like here in a hotel. You know, like correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know spaces like this in Addis. There are no spaces like this.
Yeah.
So in our culture in the Mediterranean, and I think also in the Ethiopian, the exterior spaces are very important. So I'm used to have a lot of spaces like this in Barcelona that you can just sit down and read a book in the middle of the city. You go down from your house and you can have that activity. So this is one of the things that I miss here in Addis, the idea of public space, and also I miss the balance between pedestrian and car to be. I'm used to have that 50-50, and here it's like 10-90. You know, if we can say about 10, because like there is not like a system of like sidewalks where you can actually like walk the whole city or like walk even like one single street, because like it's like broken. And yeah. So these are like in terms of like urbanism. That's like if I have to enter into architecture. I think in the architecture it goes to the same idea, you know, like that because of the planning. The buildings are like isolated actions. They don't become part of a group, so there is not an integrity of architecture that is established by regulations. Like we have a planning that there are blocks of like 100 by 100 meters with courtyards of 7 floors, and we have rules.
All are 7 floors? Almost?
7, 8, max. It depends on the time they are built, but they vary like 2 floors maximum. And it's like an homogeneous.
The skyscape of the city is not as.
No, there are few exceptions, like singular buildings. These ones they are allowed to have like higher, but they don't go more than 25 stories. Okay, like this is like that's like maximum. So this, and then like there are like 4 or 5 that they go a bit more. Like maximum is 110 meters height. Okay. So this idea of an overall planning of a city, it's also it makes you feel that you are in one specific place at a time, no? And then also the thing is, like when I see the facades of the buildings here, I can see that also there is a lack of like regulation on that. And this I'm used to have like and to see continuity on this. Like for example, in the city of Barcelona, in the center, you can use stone, wood, and a specific type of like windows, and with a specific proportion. So
even the size of the windows are
a specific proportion, like 1:2, 1:3, 1. So when you look at a street, even though there is like individual architects, there is a lot of innovation behind each building. Like the railings are different, like the type of like how you join. Some people they put the stone here, some people they use it like a brise soleil. But you see a kind of continuity, and there is also like limits on like how much glass you can put or not. There is in some places you can put only 1/3. In other cities, like for example in the city of Doha in Qatar, you can only put 1/3 of the facade made of glass. The rest has to be solid because of the weather.
In Qatar.
Yes, because of the weather. And here in Addis, when I see all these buildings with glass, I have said that several times, but it's something that first it doesn't. I see it doesn't feel. When I see it, I actually the first time I saw it, like I'm really in Africa or I'm like somewhere else, you know, because you see these like tinted glass buildings, and in my opinion they don't belong to. You compare that with Lalibela and this, like what happened here, you know, like how this civilization went from this sophistication and this like top level of like understanding of tectonics and filtering light and like construction to this other simplicity of like standardization of a facade.
It's almost in a way. In Addis, many buildings look alike, and at the same time there is a sort of isolation of buildings. How do you explain this? Because most of the buildings they use the same materials, the same forms in a way, and there's no harmony again. There is no harmony and homogeneity.
I think the only homogeneity they have is the material, because the way they are composed is very different.
Okay.
My opinion. I think they use the material because it's basically there is a lack of like local materials for like construction, and then there is one specific importer that establishes here, and then he starts sourcing all the construction sites. That's my understanding of how the market works, and then there is a trend established from that point of view.
Okay, a trend established from that point of view. Actually, this could be your opinion, but there are a lot of importers of materials, but there is a sort of fashion in a way that people, architects and clients are following one another.
So where this fashion of making glass buildings come from?
And it came maybe from elsewhere, Europe or Dubai. You can in a wrong manner. It's an imitation of this architecture from elsewhere in a sort of distorted manner. This is what my opinion is.
But for example, in Dubai, they copied that system from the West, from the US.
Yeah, in a matured manner, maybe.
Yeah, but it doesn't work. You know, like imagine one day in Dubai without electricity. You die.
Yeah.
You die.
Yeah.
Literally, you die. One of the things we have done in the Mediterranean, like our modern architecture, is so based on that. It's a lot based on the vernacular architecture.
You learn a lot of.
Yes. We understood that we cannot have like our modern windows, modern brise soleils. They are an interpretation of the traditional brise soleils made with wood from our ancestors. Now we make them with aluminium, but they have the same function and the same shape. I don't see a relationship between this and your traditional architecture. I don't see, and you have really great examples of that. And I think there is a lot to learn. I've seen traditional architecture in Tigray. I've seen traditional architecture in the Amara region. I've seen traditional architecture in Harar. And they all don't have a lot of windows. They have big insulation. They have green roofs. They have like a lot of like innovative solutions. Look at the solutions of Lalibela in the roof.
Yeah.
For me, it's amazing. Like the way the roofs are solved with such a smart way, and how they conduct water, how they the size of the windows, the geometry, the way of filtering light, all that, and how that translates into just a plain facade made with glass. Then the only thing you can do to protect from the sun is you tint it, you put color and reflection. Then you are creating heating on the street. When you put like reflection on the glass, you create heating on the street, and you don't allow light to get inside. And I have seen in some of the buildings they need to turn on the light during the day because
there are glass buildings at the same time.
Yes, or they have to close the curtains. Like look at here at this hotel, all the curtains are closed because not because of intimacy. Also intimacy. I think it's.
You mean privacy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Ethiopian culture, you like privacy, and you don't like to be seen like a lot, like in public.
Yeah.
So when you have this kind of treatment, this is more from Scandinavia. You know, in Scandinavia, you go in Copenhagen, and you see people behind a glass like this, naked. You can see that.
You see people?
Yes, you can see that in the middle of the street. It's normal. You can see, or in the Netherlands. And you see, and they don't close the curtains. They are okay with that. But I don't think that it could be translated here.
Yeah. You would be considered. You would be taken to the madhouse if you open your glass and start to standing nude for 2 days. People will take you to the nearest hospital.
Okay.